What's going on? You got the Lycan King here in the Ring TV. Of course, whenever we're doing this show, we're going to bring you a lot of show footage, but we're also going to bring you a lot of the personal friends, the judges, the handlers, everybody's breeders, people involved. Whatever you do, you might make leashes or anything like that. So right here, I got one of my good friends. Of course, it was great to see him, and yeah, like I said, I'll let him introduce himself. And we're going to dig into some questions right now.
Well, first off,
yeah, appreciate that.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. It's been way too long.
Yeah.
I think it's been a good 3 years.
At least.
Well, a year, and then that pandemic hit.
You give us an extra on there, yeah.
What's up, Bully family? I'm John Certeza, West Coast Bullies. We date way back. Probably before.
Bringing history, I told y'all.
I can remember when the ABKC first came about, and we've been doing it a long time, and it's grown crazy.
Big time. I mean, John's from the West Coast, so the West Coast movement on the initiation of all that, because you got to remember that gets back to where they were getting the ones who were getting removed from the UKC show, but that a lot of times people don't know, the big blue dogs initially all started out west, like that big dog movement, and that's some facts we're going to bring to you guys. A lot of that, it wasn't East Coast based, it was West Coast where you guys were at, where it was different, and you guys were the original ones hitting with the big dogs and everything like that, because we were still doing smaller dogs over here on the East Coast side a little bit compared to what you guys were doing over there.
I think what it was, man, is Southern California had a lot of old school blood, a lot of big blood. And then the East Coast had, some really nice structured dogs, but they were on a smaller end. They just had really good structure.
Yep.
But our vision was man, let's take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, put it together, and man, let's see what happens. And
bam.
We hit a gold mine.
100%. That shit was big. It blew up. It blew up big. And it was crazy because the shows blew up big too over there. I mean, the average barbecues and that stuff, when I was flying over there, I mean, you guys were like, come on, I'll go over there. And people don't, I was taking people with me, and I'm telling them on the plane, they're like, yeah. And then they get there, they're like, yo, bro, I'm like, yes, this is
crazy,
what I'm
man.
talking about.
I can remember the first Bully shows out in SoCal. 4,000 or 5,000 people in attendance.
Damn.
Hundreds of dogs. I mean, every dog you could think of, big name or not, was there. And then we started throwing our own Bully shows and doing the ABKC stuff. And we threw a show in Northern California, and with the lounge, we used to be called the lounge. The lounge is still around.
It's still around.
They're still hitting hard.
Exactly.
But when we were still part of the lounge, we threw a show, and I want to say there was at least 2,500 people that showed up.
Easy.
Every big name dog from Monster, Gotti, G-Unit, Legend. Hef was like a 6-month-old puppy.
It was young. I think Warren was out there with Big Boy and shit like that that time.
Big Boy was
That's
out
why I was out there.
there.
That's what I mean. I remember that
all
shit.
The old school big name guys, all the dogs, everyone was there. And it's grown from having a barbecue and just talking to each other about dogs to competition.
Bam.
And professional style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Now, tearing over from that, before we leave that though, we got to, a lot of dogs, a lot of people, might see in their pedigrees was produced by you. So, name some of them dogs out of, you can go with some of the old ones and then give us some of the new ones, because a lot of times, people like us, they think that we just are done. And then we have conversations, outside conversations, where they don't even know about, and people think, oh, they were just talking about where they're partying tonight. No, when we first see each other, like, yo, what's the yard like? What's going on? It's just natural conversation for us, even though, we have slept in beds together. We've been in, hotel rooms, we have dragged through, we've been partying, we've been places. I mean, all of us has been sacked up together. We have made some crazy trips over the time, and over the years, it was insane.
Just like scientists in the lab trying to, put together, something.
Boom.
That one main dog, man, and it's that one main dog, KURUPT.
And everybody knows KURUPT. That's why I don't want to say it. You know what I mean?
No one knows about the 10 or 15 other little KURUPTs that we had.
Boom.
Because KURUPT, you just couldn't replace that.
No.
KURUPT. It was before his time.
It was a complete showstopper. Like, if anybody knows it, you have all seen KURUPT Blood. You've all seen it in the bag. KURUPT, period, it was a monster. And like you said, I have been there, so I've seen the other stuff he produced. That's why I was like, yo, name some dogs. I seen it was like, it was more than just KURUPT. Like, for you to let KURUPT go, people had to realize there was a million other that was in between KURUPT before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it broke on both ends on that whole situation. You know what I mean?
We had a lot of stuff going on. I did a lot of stuff with some Razor's Edge, Razzle Dazzle stuff. I did some 2 times Daz stuff. And we created even better KURUPTs. More compact, more structurally sound dogs. Assassin was one of them. Colossus was one of them. Da Vinci. And then we had females, Havana, Egypt. Like the list goes on. You know, there was a lot of dogs, but we were like mad scientists trying to come up with some way to like stop the show when we show up.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
Back then, it was all about that. Like, you know, Lounge, EE
Yeah.
at the time. It was all the different groups. You know, it was everybody all over. And it was crazy. It was about that. It was, you know, it was major show setups. Like, as we, you know, we're at a show and you see stuff now, it looks like professional. Like you said, it got more competition, more professional. The setups got better and everything else. I mean, back in the day, we had crazy. Don't take it wrong. Like, the setups we had back in the day, we had to come in a day early to set up just because it was like a fuel show. Like, we had big stages, big platforms.
We were bringing couches from the house.
That's what I'm saying. You were taking everything. So there's a lot more. But now people got, you know, tents and all this other stuff that looks good. And it got a lot better, which now you're a judge, of course. So tell us a little bit about that and seeing what you see in the rings and everything else.
I mean, I've seen everything from the beginning. You know, I've watched the American Bully turn into a factory. You know, the American Bullies evolved so crazy. You know, things are, you know, like I said, just the structure of this breed is every generation just keeps getting better and better. And that's what I think I really love about just the community itself is that, you know, there's always competition, but we're always trying to do something better.
That's it, yeah, that's good. Yeah, and that's the truth, and that's where it went, because initially, like you said, we had big chains, we had gaudy stuff, we had regular leather like leashes in there, but it was more of a show at that time, like, because we used to stop the show, take photos, it was commercial, where now, you know, like you said, everybody's doing professional, people are hiring handlers, people are paying to ship dogs out to condition dogs and everything else, and, you know, it's great to see it to come to that level, you know, and it still has that little bit of the aspect from the past.
It has that aspect.
But it's a lot more organized, you know what I mean?
A lot more organized. I mean, I've been judging for, I don't even want to say how long, because then I'm going to let everyone know how old I really am.
Yeah, and we don't even talk about our age. The grades, we let them just talk about. That's it. You get to guess the rest. That's it. Yeah.
I want to say since about several months after ABKC was incepted. So, and there's only a couple of us left originals, man.
It is.
There's only a couple. I want to say like 3.
It's so funny. It is, because you hear a lot of people always say they're OGs, and then you're like, I'm like, I didn't even remember who you are. I never seen you before, so I'm like,
first time seeing you, brother.
Ever. So I'm like, how is it? I was like, every one of us can name a time, where we were at, what we have done, our past, something like that. I was like, and it's photos. I was like, people don't think like it wasn't like you missed a photo out. We were like photo crazy back in the days. Like, we were posting everywhere. We were at dinner. Motherfuckers like, hold on, we gotta get a picture. Like, it was crazy. So.
You remember that boat ride?
Oh, in LA and shit. LA. We got Tones just come right in. Yeah, we got Mr. Gold in there. What's happening?
I'm judging.
He's judging.
I thought you're judging. You wanted to judge?
Yeah, they brought me out of retirement.
This is how we do it. This is In the Ring Live, and we're everywhere. This is Tone. Tone, you might as well say what's up. You're on the TV now. In the Ring TV. So
what's up? I'm a little shy to see.
It's all good. This is about John Certeza. Anyway,
this is about John. So, we'll get back. So it's how we do it.
I'm messing with you, brother.
You're in there. We keep everything legit.
I'm always messing something up.
It's all about the bullies.
We got you in there. Listen.
I'm just going to skedaddle.
Anyway, that was Tony Gold, Mr. Gold himself.
Boom, that's it. You see what it says, like, everybody, that was like a prime example. We talking about OGs, and then instantly right there, he bobs in, and that's how we just talk and bob around. And you got people now, just because a couple of new kennels know them, they call them OGs, but they're more or less label themselves that, because it's just like, you're in no photos, you're nowhere. Like, back then, Atomic Dog was around. We had magazines, so it's like, you're not even hit one of them. Like,
you remember when Atomic Dog was like that the breeze you get in the mail?
Oh, my God,
you remember
that was crazy.
I remember getting one of those back in the day, man. It's crazy, man, how things have evolved.
No, that's good.
It really has. But I do miss the old days.
Definitely. There's
I do miss the old days, man.
There's nothing that is going to ever change about that. And when people say that, there was, you guys are this, it's a different whole flow between now and the old days, because, these guys want to be separate. Where we were constantly putting all of us together.
Yeah.
Like, we were selling out whole hotels and pushing other appointments out just because we had that many things.
Yeah.
We were, we can't get him in there, we're leaving the whole hotel.
Yeah.
They're like, hold on, no, you guys got like 90 rooms here. No, you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that part. I remember that.
Exactly. We're now, like, these guys are like, oh, no, they're staying there, I'm going to stay over here. No, you need to get back to that, because you don't talk, you don't laugh. Like, our parking lot used to look like it was like a party out there, because we were just sitting there bullshitting and drinking. Next thing you know, you see like
pimping all night long.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it's just like, that's what we say when we're about that, because we were talking more dogs, we were hanging out, we were all moving together. We were like, all right, dinner takes, you're like, what took so long to get a dinner? Well, we had a book, 50 seats or something like that. It was crazy. You know what I mean?
What it was is that we were like the foundation, setting something up for greatness.
Yeah.
And here we are, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I already know that we did what we came to do.
Bam.
You know?
It's done in plans, because we see it right now. So it's great that, you're still around. It's great that, we talk so much outside, so you know how it is. You know what I mean? We spend so much time together, and it's crazy. To see the achievements and everything you made, like, it makes all like that's the one thing different with us and that. These guys get mad, they see somebody else. We're happy for each other. You know what I'm saying? Between like our kids graduating and asking about family to like, yo, he made Judge, or he doing this, or a crazy litter produce. Like, we were happy to see that. We were happy to see the dogs. And we still do that now. And that's a different, different relationship than these guys have with each other. Which they need to get together. Like, they get better on it. That's the only thing that this whole thing is missing, is that camaraderie. To get together and then move it forward. And it'd be a mega show.
None of these guys today can say that they've known each other for more than 15 years.
Exactly, they can't at all. That's
I haven't seen you in 3 years. 4 years or so. It's like, what's up, brother?
What's up? It's like no big deal,
I've made countless friends and friends that I've turned into family. I've met people that I've made friends with, people I probably wouldn't have looked at twice on the street.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So there's a different background from that to that, like, and then all of us came together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
All right. So I get it, definitely, brother. Well, appreciate it, definitely,
Yes,
brother. Thanks for coming on.
To see you,
know what I mean? You're one of the first.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Right
Appreciate
on.
it, brother. So we're out.
All right. Aloha.